So I wanted to talk a little bit about the procedure that I've taken on. I'm a C4 incomplete. Injured my neck in a vehicle rollover, and I fractured my C4, 5, and 6, which then squeezed my spinal cord, didn't sever it. So when you look at an image, which I'll post in here, you can see the areas that you got the inflammation, but not really much damage to the spinal cord. Still left me with very prominent nerve pain. Feels like I'm sitting in a bath of ice water 24/7. It's extreme spasticity. Every time you touch me or I hit a bump, they kick and throw and the whole 9 yards. So they've had me on relatively high doses of Lyrica and Baclofen and all the other good stuff that we're all on. And it got to a point where I had been doing enough research on stem cell to kind of grasp what I was looking at doing, and I understood the basic premise of how it worked. But I came across an individual who is working out of the Stem Cell Center of New Jersey. And they do a little bit differently than your average stem cell doctor, I guess. What they do is actually extract MSCs, which is the stem cells they get from placenta and embryonic fluid and whatnot. And they culture them out on all these different little plates. And then when they're doing this, the stem cells actually excrete this thing called exosomes, which is a growth factor per se. It's kind of like the fertilizer for the stem cell and all the cells around. So instead of actually taking the stem cells, the MSCs, and injecting them into my spinal column, he actually injects the exosomes. They're about, I wouldn't say a 50th the size of a stem cell, so they're actually not even identified by the immune system. So there's no adverse effects. I did my procedure 2 days ago actually. It was Wednesday. They go in through my C1, C2 area. There's a spot on the back of the spinal column that has about a 4 to 5 millimeter space of spinal fluid that he actually is able to go in and draw 3 cc's of spinal fluid out, and then he injects the 3 cc's of exosomes. And the exosomes are then able to bypass the blood barrier through the spinal column and go to work in the areas of inflammation, which the inflammation is pretty much the direct root of all of our nerve pain and spasticity and the fuzzing up of the transmission of brain signals getting sent. So if you can reduce the inflammation and shut down the upregulated autoimmune system, you can start to turn back a lot of the symptoms we have. Once the injection is in there, you look for about a week out, he says, to see a big reduction in nerve pain, if not completely. I can tell you right now, being day 2, I already feel a reduction in my nerve pain. It went from that ice burn to a relatively mild pressure sensation. Kind of almost feels like my skin's been wrapped with some kind of warm towel, like an ace bandage almost. And another thing you'll see is here, my hand, I'm getting movement in my right middle finger. I don't know if you can tell very well, but I'm able to squeeze it in towards the middle. Not a whole lot of movement, but I literally haven't been able to move that since I can remember. A little backstory: prior to doing it, I had actually done the stem cell or the exosome injections into my head to try and fix my baldness. The way I looked at it was, if I'm going to inject a product into my neck, I might as well see if it's going to work in other areas first. So the claims were that these exosomes could also help regrow or fix balding, male pattern baldness. And I was pretty bloody thin up there, still not super thick, but the hair has come back a fair bit. My buddy Tony did it. He was relatively bald and he has significant growth, but he's got black hair, so it's easy to tell. So I wanted to become Ziggy, come here. Wanted to become a bit of a believer in the product before I injected it into my neck, and it worked up there. So I said, screw it and go for it. The procedure is a fraction cost of what you would pay if you go down to Panama City or to Bangkok. I've done my research on both. You're looking at probably 60 grand to 95 grand for either or, and a month of solid being down there. It's nice to be able to do this here in New Jersey, and obviously, like I said, significantly cheaper. So I'm going to be posting on here a little bit and try to keep everybody updated where we sit with everything. Like I said, the biggest change I see so far is the drop in nerve pain and starting to get some movement back in the fingers. I don't know if I can get it to do it. They're not doing it right now, but they usually shake pretty consistently, like Parkinson's almost, and they're not doing it at all right now. Might also be the medical marijuana, but who knows. But like I said, it's definitely gotten significantly better. So I hope everybody enjoys. Anybody's got any questions, let me know. I only know what I know, but I can tell you what I know. So we can see how everything goes. Cheers.